Today I'm talking about leadership and three key ingredients that not always is easily found in the Google search on the attributes of a great leader, but these three qualities are really valuable to really help you as a leader and has a really profound effect, can have a profound effect on those who you interact with. I was recently inspired by a conversation I had with someone who have known for quite some time, and I'm reflecting on that conversation, which was a delicate situation that required a fair bit of information to be delivered, that was sensitive and also important for the greater good of the situation. So this person really had three qualities that shone through during that conversation, which I felt was a true essence of leadership, and hence it's inspired me to do this video today. The first thing is active listening. Now, you might have heard of active listening, and I know for myself I feel like it's almost an art form. It is something that requires discipline and practice in order to be able to genuinely be engaged, fully present with someone without allowing your thoughts or reactions to enter your space and fully and completely hear the person out. And so that is a really key aspect, and the message there is that practicing active listening is really important. The other, if you're not sure or have ever heard of active listening, you might find someone in your life that you might think is a good listener, or it could be someone, a work colleague or a family friend. Have a look at their posture and their engagement if they are active listening to someone else, and you can actually see what active listening looks like. And I am fortunate to have a friend that I have witnessed many times watching her active listen to someone else. So it'll just demonstrate to you how that actually looks like in reality. The other part of active listening is to be able to hold space. So as I'm delivering this information that's quite sensitive, there can be the tendency to start to want to answer the question or respond to what's being said. But again, this person was able to listen and also nodding, acknowledging what I was saying. Those signs are very important as well. And then nurture that conversation by prompting, as in when I get to a certain point, and go on, and that's giving you permission to continue the conversation without being interrupted. And so holding space in conjunction with active listening is extremely important, because I left that meeting feeling extremely heard and fully understood. And I could tell that person had a complete understanding of where I was coming from. Whereas, as we know, we can see people, they're on their phones or on their computers, or they're doing something or don't have any eye contact when they're listening, and there's a guarantee there that there's some things will be missed in that conversation. That's quite an act, and maybe it's something I'll cover in another video at some point, but that is a real key aspect of leadership, because how can you completely understand the people that you are leading unless you can actually listen to them, acknowledge what they're saying, and hold that space, particularly when it's a sensitive or delicate issue. So that's one high attribute that a leader can have, and a great leader can have, or a leader aspire to. So the second, I guess, attribute is to, when presented with a problem, not to necessarily have a strong desire or to immediately try and fix the problem immediately, or with a sense of urgency. Certainly for things like safety or people's welfare, it might be necessary to do that. However, the next key attribute is to be able to sleep on it. Have you ever written an email and never sent it, and then the next day you've actually read it and go, okay, I'm not going to send that now? I've certainly done that a few times. And it's amazing how, firstly, sleep is really good to consolidate our thoughts, our memory, and a number of other things. So, and with the benefit of reflection, you might come up with, or are more likely to come up with, a sound decision as opposed to jumping in and trying to fix the problem straight away. And that person, again, show that quality in that interaction that we had. And so, and I was okay with that. I actually, in actual fact, I was more than okay with that, because the last thing I actually wanted as a result of the conversation was for things to start swinging into place, when in actual fact just not doing anything immediately can be very powerful in itself. But it also, as I said, gives you time to reflect. So the key message there is to, if you can, sleep on your leadership challenges and problems, and you'll be surprised how often things will come to the surface or to the light. Sometimes things will even fix themselves, not in this case, but certainly we can reflect and sort of at a steady pace, I would say, or a reasonable pace, is certainly the way to go. The third attribute of a great leader, and it's something that actually is the opposite to the general mindset of a leader, has to show that they are bulletproof and all together, and I guess not show any weaknesses, emotions, when in fact, and Brené Brown is a great example of, she talks a lot about vulnerability in leadership, and a bit about that is about, as a leader, you're human, you have things going on in your life as well, and also as a leader, it's a great, it's quite a big responsibility to help others and lead others, but also there's a lot of power in sharing some or a little bit of your own situation or the challenges that you have. And the key thing to remember is it doesn't undermine necessarily, or it won't undermine your leadership ability. In actual fact, it's likely to have the opposite effect, where it'll actually have a lot of power to I guess reaffirm or to give confidence in the person you're leading, that you are able to share that information, showing that you're more human, you're more compassionate. Compassion is a big part of leadership, and I guess when we are a little bit vulnerable, and when I say a little bit vulnerable, is that we're probably sharing something that is not our whole life story, our whole situation, but enough to show that you have those attributes as far as compassion and empathy, that you have challenges like everyone else, and that then brings you in line with the person that you're leading. So in this case, that vulnerability came through, and actually, it was a good reminder to me that we all go through, often, whether you're a leader or not, a lot of life challenges that require some empathy, free of judgment, criticism, and just be able to show that, hey, I'm with you in this moment, I get what you're saying, and if there's a little tear that comes to your eye, the previous thought would be, well, we can't do that, we can't be showing our emotions because we've got to show we've got it all together. Check out Brene Brown and other famous, coaches and keynote speakers, that the actual showing some of that vulnerability has extreme amounts of power. And so, and I guess in a way, that was one of the big things that came through for me in this situation. So I essentially had my leader had those three attributes: active listening, slept on the situation, and also then showed a little bit of vulnerability. I walked away from that interaction feeling a lot of relief, and a lot of my anxiety reduced because I felt I was heard. I knew that nothing was going to happen in a sort of mad panic or an unnecessary amount of urgency. And then to see that vulnerability come through, just sort of wrapped it all up into a nice leadership 101 package. So that person, obviously I haven't identified that person, but I would just say that to that person that thank you. You inspired me today in the area of leadership, and I think it's those three attributes are amazing, and they shone through today. So a big thank you and well done from me. So I might develop this concept a little bit further, but for today, I hope that you got something out of it, and I'd encourage you to further develop or look at those attributes, and you will start seeing some quite immediate effects should you wish to do so. And it takes a bit of practice, and you might get it right maybe every single time, but as you grow and learn and develop these attributes, I can guarantee you will notice a difference on how you lead and how people receive your leadership.